And there we are. I wanted to take a quick second just to let everyone know. Hey, did you see it? They say that the measure of a man's success is the company that he keeps. It has nothing to do with how much this costs and that costs, what kind of car you drive. It's who you hang out with. You surround yourself with wonderful people, you're gonna go great. And I'm telling you, no one in the world knows better people than I do. So give some noise for yourself, because you could have done anything tonight, and you're here. I'm gonna do a little bit of ring announcing now to clear the throat before I get emotional. Got some really, really awesome people in the house tonight that are championship boxers, sometimes in their own mind, and sometimes in the world's rankings. So let me start. A very good friend, one of my best friends in the world. He's known the region over as the fighting school teacher of DeMott. Give it up for Jimmy Ho!
All right.
From Whiting, Indiana, one of the hardest punchers of his day, took apart Arturo Gotti. That fight didn't go his way, but definitely Mr. Gotti felt the thunder from this gentleman. Give it up for Mr. Eric Jakubowski.
Right.
And it is my distinct pleasure, truly, to have a world champion in the house. This is not a state champion. This is not a county champion. This is a world champion. The WBC lightweight champion of the world. Give it up for Chicago's own David Diaz. Now, I've got a small presentation. If someone could hand me the David Diaz glove, there's two of them. They're identical. Yeah, you can bring them both up here, Ms. Phillips. Thank you. And yes, if David could join me. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I always carry.
Oh yeah.
No money at all. No money at all. I'm a public school teacher.
Got your razor?
But first things first, I've painted the former world champion David Diaz on two gloves, is what I've done. If you didn't get the chance to see this man in his prime, you really, really missed out. His signature win was over, in my opinion at least, Eric El Terrible Morales. He was a four-time, am I right about that? Yes, sir. Four-time world champion and a Hall of Famer. Do you have something to say?
He was trying to get his fourth try with championship.
You were going to be four.
Yeah,
and he wasn't.
Stopped it. Yeah. Later on, he ended up winning his fourth title, but not with me.
Not with you.
There you go.
And we're going to talk about Pacquiao.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say about the Manny Pacquiao experience?
It was a humbling experience, something that I never. When I took that fight, I took a fight that I was fighting a lower weight guy. So me necessarily being the heavier by 5 pounds, this guy's no problem. I take care of him right away. I fought many fast guys before in my career. I beat Sept to become an Olympian, and I thought to myself, I got him, not a problem. After the second or third round, I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? I'm like, this guy's too fast for me. And you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. I've always been a man of my word, and I take off my hat to him then, and I take it off to him now because he accomplished a lot of great things in boxing.
Thank you so very much, Champ, for coming out. Thank you again. I'd like to present you with one of these as a gift.
Thank you.
As a gift on behalf of Paul Henry's Gallery and from Guzman.
I'm humbled.
This is yours.
I'm humbled.
This is yours.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's get it.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
And would you do me the honor of signing this one? You weren't getting out of here without way up high if you would have been.
All right. So you want to devalue this glove?
Oh, no. you, champ.
Well, thank you, sir.
Truly. My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. Appreciate it.
Thank you again. Thank you again.
He was gonna try to keep it.
I heard there was
After I told him it's gonna be demanded now, huh? I got the point.
I heard there was someone in the house that fought Ali. I
Yes.
heard that.
Okay, you want a story? We got a story. I made this for Father's Day about 5 years ago. This poster up here, okay? Muhammad Ali against John Guzman, my father. Also on the undercard, Floyd Patterson against George Chuvalo. Those are names you recognize.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I walked up to George Chuvalo, who was the toughest man to ever come out of the entire country of Canada. He was just rock solid. He never was off his feet as a professional. I walked up to him and I had an 8x10 shrunk down print of this. And I walked up to Chuvalo and I asked him if he would sign this, and he goes, "Oh, of course." He signs it and he goes, "Wait a second. Who the hell is John Guzman?" And I turned purple. I had several shades of embarrassment. And I said, "Well, you didn't fight him, champ. He's my father." And he goes, "Father's Day, right?" Yes. You got it. So, yeah. So,
I'll sign any glove you want.
yes. $50 a signature. Mine to the left. If anyone has any questions at all, this would be an awesome time, because I'm answering the same questions again and again, and I'm fine with that. But if anyone had anything,
How did you get interested in art?
how did I get interested in art? My dad is a fantastic artist. He's a folk artist, and we drew together when I was 3 years old. He worked a lot of shifts as a Gary police officer. I would, when he did come home, I'd run right to him, we'd get the pad of paper, and we would draw. My brother can attest to that. My little brother's here somewhere. And we would draw together, and then I taught myself how to draw Garfield out of the newspaper until I didn't have to look at the newspaper. Kept on going. Became the official artist for the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame in New York in '09. So I was already painting on gloves at that time. I was painting fighters on gloves. And then someone, a buddy of mine who had to just leave, unfortunately, Justin Tillich, he said, Guzman, Harrison Ford, the artist, is going to be in Chicago next week. How cool would it be if you painted Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones on a boxing ring? And I'm like, that's stupid. I'm looking him up on IMDb. He's never even been in a boxing movie. That makes no sense at all. And he goes, that's why that's cool. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I painted him as Indiana Jones. I stuck my paw out there on the red carpet. He was in town for a movie premiere. And he signed it, and officially I got bitten by the bug. I was like, anytime I knew someone famous was going to be someone. I mean, ask my lovely wife, Angie, whoever she might be. I don't see her at this particular moment.
Right there.
It's all over. It's all
It's
over.
okay, she wasn't paying attention.
Beautiful wife. Beautiful.
She heard me say the beautiful part. I've always got spare gloves in my car. I'm always prepared. I don't have. Someone found it.
And it's your lovely anniversary yesterday.
It was, yes. 11 years with this gorgeous.
Yes.
11 years.
Fine work.
So that Harrison Ford glove moved on to a Peter Fonda glove, and then those two sat next to each other for a couple weeks, and then I was like, I heard someone else was going to be. Ask Angie, it's become absolutely stupid. I cannot hear that someone even remotely famous is going to be somewhere without running on over and getting them to sign a glove. Sometimes I haven't even had the time to paint them yet.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You want to know what weird is? Walk up to someone that has zero to do with the world of boxing, ask them to sign a blank boxing glove. I've experienced some weird stuff. That is weird. Question, young lady.
One thing question, but tell a story about, have you ever, what kind of reaction, do you get, huh? Or, can you tell a story about that?
Depends on who it is. Yeah,
Vince Vaughn.
That's what the...
Play the Vince Vaughn clip.
Yeah, right.
Slide. Well, somewhere on this is Vince Vaughn telling me that it's actually kind of creepy that I painted. I said, Vince, I painted you on this glove. He goes, yeah, I saw that. It's kind of creepy. So then I'm good. humorously arguing with, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not weird. It's not weird. And he goes, oh, it's cool that you did that, but it's weird. I'm like, well, you sign it, and he did, and then it's on there somewhere. The weirdest was probably Charlie Sheen, who's over on this wall. Charlie Sheen. First, okay, so after the winning and all the Tiger Blood and all that stuff, he goes on a comedy tour. He's the world's worst. I hope he doesn't walk in. He's the world's worst stand-up comedian. He comes in, everyone crowds around him, and bottom line, security takes him in. I stand back and I wait because I know he's a chain smoker. And you cannot smoke inside the Chicago theater. So 20 minutes before showtime, he comes back out, and I'm like, haha, awesome. I showed it to him, and he's pulling his hair. He's on everything but skates, and there are children there. I'm not going to explain what that means. He's not well on this particular night. Not well. He just went into this tirade, just horrible language, one on top of the other, about how weird that is and how awesome that is. He's like, embrace that weird, man. People are going to call you weird. He goes, people aren't going to come to a gallery to see that stuff, but, and by the way, thank you. And at the time, I was like, yeah, you're probably right. They probably wouldn't. But again, thank you for making him out to be a liar. But he's telling me again and again. He spends 15 minutes cussing at me about how it's weird and that's why it's cool. So that's that. And again, truly, thank you so much for your time, for coming in today. You guys could have done
Thank
it
you.
tonight, and you showed up. Yes, sir. Question.
2 questions. What's the current total on
Oh,
celebrity
God.
boxing gloves?
You'd have to ask Angie. They're like spores. There's 75. Actually, don't count. I think it's actually closer to 78 in the room. And that doesn't count the vintage. I know, it's a big lie. It's a sham. But my studio probably has between 300 and 400.
Okay, well, since Angie's also answering the questions, how many times has his marker gotten washed? Because that seems like a disaster.
Well,
waiting to happen.
I've taken a marker or 2 out of the dryer. Yeah. I go to put my stuff in.
We do our own laundry.
By the way.
Mr. Joe, we do our own laundry. So
Always carry a marker. That seems like a disaster.
I
waiting to happen.
have markers in every pocket.
Markers is usually good with. Chapstick on the other hand. Not really.
There's a few of the limited edition prints left. There's a couple of t-shirts left back there. There's still lots of food. Enjoy yourself.
All right.
Thank you so very much. Thank you to Dave Mueller.
Yes.
And the Paul Henry Art Gallery. They took me in, I was barely eating. This is all after Paul Henry. So thank you again. And everyone that had a part in this. Tony Lipka, hell of a guy. Didn't help me hang. I helped him hang all of this. Donna Diamantopoulos is not here tonight, but she was also here yesterday. Did a lot of work, so I'm gonna let you back to your good times.